This is why your PD isn't working. It's not working. It's not working. You know, a lot of professional development is not failing because the speaker was bad. You know, some good speakers out here. It's not because the speaker's bad. You know, it's failing because the district never clarified the real problem. You got people coming in, you're paying for these people, right? But you know what? That may sound harsh. It may sound harsh, but stay with me. Districts spend thousands of dollars on PD every year. You know, keynotes, workshops, training days, consultants, programs, curriculum support, technology sessions, all this stuff, leadership development, right? We're developing leaders, having people come in, you know, but too often PD becomes an event instead of a solution. You know, it's just an event. But you know what? There is a biblical image about building on the right foundation. You know, there's something I definitely always want is that foundation. You know, if the foundation is weak, what you build on top of it will not hold. It just won't hold. You know, the same is true with professional development. You know, if the foundation is not connected to the real problem, the event may inspire people, but it may not transform the system. And that's why we're here. We're here to transform. You know, people attend, they listen, they take notes, they may even feel inspired. But a few weeks later, the system looks exactly the same. You know, you've seen it. But why is this? It's because the PD is not connected to a clearly defined problem, a shared question, or a strategic pathway for implementation. This is why the first phase of the Thought of Innovation Roadmap is question asking. It's question asking. Because before a district asks, who should we bring in? It needs to ask, what problem are we actually trying to solve? And what do our teachers need to be able to do differently? This is about preparing teachers to teach our students. We've got to do it. What experience do we want students to have because of this work? Just think of it. We want to think about the experience. What evidence would show that the PD mattered? Not just how many sessions were held, and not just whether people enjoyed the speaker. What shifted? What practice changed? What capacity was built? What student, teacher, or leadership experience was affected? And what evidence supports the investment? Think about it. That is the difference between buying PD and building innovation. So if your PD is not working, the problem may be that it was never attached to the right question. And I tell you what, I help districts close that gap. You know, it's an innovation gap. It's an innovation gap, right? I don't just come in and inspire people for a day. I don't. I help leaders connect the message, the method, and the measurable story of change. They need to hear that this innovation has happened here. So if your district is ready for PD that leads somewhere, I have a roadmap. And I tell you what, that roadmap, it exists for districts just like you who want to go on the road to innovation. Straight to innovation. And I tell you what, we could take a speedway straight to innovation with this roadmap, the Thought Innovation Roadmap, on the road to innovation.